Good morning. We've chosen the chapter Future of Our Pasts, which mainly deals with globalization. What is globalization? In today's world, our understanding of globalization is that it is a process of interaction and integration among the people, companies, and governments of different nations, a process driven by international trade and investment and aided by information technology. However, globalization has been debated by many philosophers, two of them being Baudrillard, a French sociologist, philosopher, cultural theorist, and Noam Chomsky, an American linguist, philosopher, and cognitive scientist. According to them, globalization is the greatest form of violence, a facade used by the US to manipulate the world.
However, these views have been debated by Amartya Sen, a famous Indian philosopher, according to whom there are two sides to the phenomenon which he puts forward in his book Identity and Violence. He says that globalization alone cannot be blamed for the divisions in the society, but are rather due to the failure of a nation's social, political, and economic arrangements. He points out that the globalization is not the hegemony, meaning political or cultural dominance or authority over others, of the West. Earlier, globalization merely meant an exchange of knowledge and technology between the East and the West. For example, the invention of the decimal system emerged in India, which is now used worldwide. If the non Western countries resist globalization on the grounds of Western dominance, they will end up failing to reap the benefits of such globalization. The success of globalization depends largely on the economic distribution of its benefits among the various classes of a nation's society. He also believes it is necessary to fight inequalities through increased understanding of issues across regions.
From this point onwards, the author of the chapter Future of Our Pasts, K. Sachidanandan, has put forward a comparison between globalization and the term internationalism, stating the former as negative and the latter as positive. According to him, all the advantages of globalization are nothing but internationalism. We have tried to explain the differences between these two concepts through two characters.
I believe in one nation having authority over another.
I believe in coexistence of all nations. You're just a monologue of power. You manipulate to generate artificial consent. I, on the other hand, believe in equality and freedom of expressions and ideas.
For me, the entire world is a market, a consumer chain.
For me, the world is a platform for creativity and culture.
According to me, the world should be manageable through export of lifestyles, monoculturation.
Monoculturation means adapting social trait and social pattern.
Standardization and homogeneity in clothes, lifestyle, art, and point views.
I like to recognize all types of lifestyles and I respect differences in cultures and identities. You, however, can control the economy in such a way that not one person can have their own opinions, whereas I support decentralization. You, however, support the economy in such a way that not one person can have their own opinion, whereas I support decentralization. Your idea of prosperity is starting wars and creating fear among masses to gain dominance. You do so by accumulation of arms so that the war industry prospers at the expense of the weaker countries.
I'm more profit driven, and instead of focusing on the future, I live in the moment. You're too easy to be concerned about the environment, and you're wasting your time fighting ecofascism.
Ecofascism means a government that requires individuals not to focus on their own well-being, rather than they should focus more on the well-being and glory of the land.
You refuse to acknowledge tradition and culture. You try to make people forget about their creative past and promote hegemony.
I think we have proven the point that recolonization is the agenda of globalization and decolonization is the agenda of internationalism.
The next part of the chapter talks about language, culture, and culture industry. Putting language into the mixture is another major problem. Every language brings its own culture and heritage and contributes majorly to our identity. Although English is a highly creative language and is very useful, globalization advocates extreme dependency on such language, making it a language of power in a negative way. What is culture industry? The term culture, coined by the critical theorists Theodor Adorno and Mark Horkheimer, wherein they propose that popular culture is akin to a factory producing standardized cultural goods, films, radio programs, magazines, etc., that are used to manipulate mass society into passivity. This culture industry has pulled people away from genuine and intellectual art and creativity and made them more entertainment seeking. Spheres such as literature, entertainment, music, etc., indirectly control the views and tastes of the general public. People not only watch these but also live through them, thereby having a major impact on their day to day lives. In today's world, truth has been belittled to a mere retail product. Human beings have become creations of the media, and our personalities and identities are increasingly influenced by it. A hegemonic cultural activity destroys heterogeneity and creates a worldwide consensus on dominant opinions. Reality and communication go hand in hand. A person who might be addicted to a specific newspaper or a show may forget that so many other viewpoints and situations exist and tends to support only one view. It is easier to go along with an existing view than to create a new way of living. Nowadays, the external facade of the experience has become more important than the experience in itself. The world has become superficial, and outer gloss has replaced inner intellectuality and contemplation.
The way families and gender roles are portrayed in television soaps and series strengthens the patriarchy and gender discrimination in the society. Power influences every sphere of life, and success is wrongly associated with power and reputation. Television have resulted in stereotyping according to regions and creating a standard image of how something is supposed to be. However, all of this is sometimes challenged by alternative culture movements that promote equality, ecological balance, and development, which challenges consent and silence is promoted by media. In order to stop art from turning into a greedy consumer industry, we need a multi layered, heterogeneous concept of art and culture that is flexible. It has become necessary to reconstruct the age old idea of power and break free from racist and imperial perceptions. We need to remember and cherish our past in such a way that it has a positive effect on our future, however, not to such an extent that we end up reliving it.